I like working with music on film. When there's music, it's like we all know that's the tone, that's what we're doing, and especially if there's choreography to it, it's a great feeling because you feel like everyone's aligned and there's no confusion and you're all working towards the same goal, and so it feels exciting to just be in sync with that many people.
Actor Ryan Gosling gets candid with Variety. In this week's issue, he talks about some of his most famous movies, the making of Barbie, and looks ahead to the Oscars. Variety senior TV features editor Emily Longeretta is here to talk more about that. Welcome back. Thanks for being with us. So yeah, tell us about this week's cover story.
This is so exciting. Ryan Gosling, of course, coming off the high of Barbie. Yeah. He talks about everything from, of course, the making of Barbie and how difficult it was for him, to his past roles and kind of his personal life, which he's very, very private about usually, so it was really nice to see him talking about this. I want to give a shout out to that video we had. He also goes through some of his lines from his favorite, or from his past roles, to see if he can remember them, and spoiler alert, he doesn't have a great memory and can't remember many of them.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Very funny to watch him recite lines from The Notebook, from Blue Valentine, or some of his crazy big roles that he doesn't have much of.
Well, and that a lot of us could probably recite the lines, no problem.
Seems to always be the case, right? But one thing he did talk about was how difficult it was for him to play Ken in Barbie, and how much he actually brought up Blue Valentine and how it used to be really hard on the days he was filming. He would lay down in his car after filming to like decompress, and he said playing Ken was even harder than that.
Oh.
Is he leaning into it again a little bit and making that part of the character? Maybe, but it was really interesting to read.
That is fascinating.
Exactly, yes. And he talked about taking a 4-year break to spend time with his family. He really got into a lot of things, especially also the Oscars and whether or not he will perform, because a lot of people want to see him perform I Am Ken on stage, and he said he hasn't been asked yet, but he'd be open to it.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
We need to make this happen.
Exactly.
Someone needs to, whoever the powers that be at the Oscars needs to make this happen, because who doesn't want to see that?
Everyone wants to see that, for sure. Okay, and then, so actress Felicity Huffman is talking now about future roles and life after that college admissions scandal. What does she say?
She's opened up in a new interview talking about how difficult it has been and how grateful she's been for her family, because at the end of the day, that is what she leaned on. Her husband, William H. Macy, who was not involved in the scandal, but who she was able to lean on him completely, but she hasn't really been able to land big roles since. I mean, she had an ABC pilot, a spinoff of The Good Doctor, in the works, and it got killed. It never got picked up. And so she's wondering if maybe that is part of the reason, because people haven't fully forgiven her. Of course, she did spend 11 days in prison for this, and this is her first time that she's really talking about this and knowing she's guilty. She's admitting, I'm guilty, I did this, but I want to move on. And some people have been kind and some people have not. So it's really up in the air what will come next for her. Right now she's working on the London revival of Here. It's an onstage show, and she's playing the mother of a transgender child and really able to flex these acting muscles she hasn't been able to flex before. But one thing she also talks about in this interview is talking about her 2005 role in Transamerica, where she played a transgender woman, and she says, I wouldn't play that today. That wouldn't be the thing today, because they would have gotten someone that's transgender to play this role. And talking about how different roles are now in the world, even within the last 10 to 15 years.
And that's really interesting that she's still not able to get the roles that she wants, and you have to wonder, like, what is the time that has to pass?
Exactly.
Before...
Is there a rule? Is there someone that's going to tell her, like, okay, now you're forgiven? Is that, so she's kind of taking it day by day and just trying to, once again, lean on her family.
Yeah, all right. Well, Emily, thank you so much. Always so interesting chatting with you. And you can find more information about Emily and Variety by going to kcalnews.com and clicking Seen on TV. And now